Alright, back here for Game 3 of Instant Reflex versus Adrian's Familj, all tied up at 1. And that's... you should probably have been able to deduce that from the fact that we're in Game 3. But apparently I felt like saying it. Anyway, last game did go to Instant Reflex in really... not really an outplay. It felt like Adrian's Familj were still the better team in a lot of situations, but apparently Instant Reflex did better because they ended up winning. So I think what Crapula said at the end of that game was really instructive, though. It's the power of a good laning phase, and no doubt Instant Reflex won the laning phase and didn't do enough to throw hard and then lose the game. So don't care, that's good. Even series, getting into Game 3, always happy. And apparently a little bit slower of a banning phase this time. Torturer and Magmus, the first two removals from Panty, and Revenant and Silhouette will be taken out by ALG. So interesting, ALG banning the Silhouette there as he played it last time. These bans making sense to you there, Fuckmuck?
Yeah, I guess he's afraid that they will pick up Silhouette if he loses it. So I guess that's why.
I mean, he seems to valuing it really heavily.
Yeah.
Really
he's
highly.
first picking it, which I don't agree with at all, but...
I'm with you. I mean, powerful hero, but first pick material, I don't think so.
She's really weak in laning phase.
Yeah.
Which, and if you first pick it, it's going to be really easy to set up some kind of a strong trio or a dual lane against her.
Right. I mean...
yeah, and iRex are banning Torture, which seems to be a comfort hero for, well, others, I think.
I really like Panny's ban, because I think it realizes that Torture and Magmus usually are annoying heroes to deal with. So he's like, he gets that they are really good heroes and they are worth banning.
Yeah, I mean, they are like adjusting to the opposing team.
Yeah.
They try and take them out of the comfort zone, which is great.
Yeah. I mean, Magmus I'm on board with. Torture, a hero that has had poor win rates ever since the start of CIC. He's been in the low 40s pretty much for the last several months. And yet, he's the second most popular hero right now.
I think it's really overrated. His stats really bad level 1, but still people like to throw him up in like dual mid and trialings.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams just seem to be comfortable with the hero. I don't think it's that strong either, but
I mean, I feel like
seems like it regardless.
The big problem with him is, well, it's twofold. The first one is that he needs to stay alive to do damage. For the most part, he's not gonna put out a lot if he's not living. Which means as a squishy support, that's just not gonna happen a whole lot. But more importantly, I don't really feel like the job of a support is to do damage. It's to CC, it's to help out the teammates, because for the most part, the damage that's going to come out of a support is really minimal, especially as the game goes later. And Torture has a few skills that are just damage. There's no, outside of the one stun, which is, as you say, guys said, hard to hit in many situations. There's no CC, there's no teamfight stuff. He doesn't have a slow, he doesn't have a hex or anything like that. So,
I think like it's fine. That gives him like a niche, like a purpose. If you need a support that deals damage, you pick Torture, pretty much. Or like, but I think he only like really excels against suicide heroes in the laning stage. I don't think he's that strong in an aggressive tri lane or a dual mid, as Clark mentioned, and I think that limits him a lot.
Yeah, and that's the reason why she has a poor win rate, because people think she does well in dual lanes.
Yeah, if people just like pick Torture when they wanted heroes on suicides, I think the win ratio would be just fine, really. I think it's just overpicked rather than too weak, if put that way.
Fair. Now, if you want a support that does damage, Pyromancer?
Yeah, it's another option. It's a bit different, but Pyromancer is another option. But like Torture...
I mean, Torture's stun is a bit better, and Impalement is also a bit better for damage early game, I would say. So I still think Torture is the better hero.
I think they accomplish a bit different things. I mean, Pyromancer is really strong in like mid-game ganks and stuff like that. Yeah. Torture is a bit more of a team fighter at that stage.
Definitely Torture is better zoning support, and Pyromancer a little bit burstier too. So.
Yeah, I mean, I actually prefer like Pyromancer in a dual mid kill lane over Torture.
Yeah, I agree.
But most people pick Torture there regardless.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like it. I think Pyromancer's underrated, and I'm not a huge fan of Torture, so first ban, probably wouldn't have done that myself, but that might be why I'm not actually that good at this game. Anyway, Cthulhuphant, Glacius, Dark Lady going to be the first 3 picks for the Legion side, and Cthulhuphant finally getting picked up as he was banned out the first 2 games. Strong hero or strongest hero?
I think it's a strong hero more than the strongest. I think it's really hard to play against. Both in the laning phase it's extremely strong, and like team fighting against Realm of Madness is always troublesome. I think it's a strong hero, but I think it's mostly about people finding it really difficult to deal with or play against properly.
Yeah.
Right.
He's really strong in the laning phase, that's why he's really popular. And he can, like, if he just destroys a lane completely, it's really hard for that hero to come back into the game. Like, those heroes are always gonna be really popular.
Yeah, I mean, if you like, he can go against dual lane and like this support can't zone him. He might even get a kill if they aren't careful, and there are very few heroes that can go against him in a 1 vs 1, so it's like hard to deal with him.
So probably gonna be seeing him in the suicide role, I would assume, in this game.
I hope so. He can be angled as well, which is decent, but he really excels suicide hero.
And we've seen a couple of Cthulhuphants jungle and do it fairly effectively, but I agree, I think the suicide role fits him a little bit better.
It's not that it's bad as a suicide, he's just as a jungler, he's just so amazing as suicide that I'd rather see him there.
And then of course, if the suicide lane is for whatever reason not going particularly well, he can just escape into the jungle for a while, which the versatility there is very nice, no doubt. Hellborn side, Parasite, Swiftblade, and Bubbles, so picking up, I feel like a bunch of really strong heroes and ones that go fairly well together. Parasite and Bubbles providing some burst damage, Swiftblade and Bubbles, obviously Bubbles locking people down with the Cult Field for the Swift Slashes. So good damage, some decent lockdown. I'd like to see a couple of stuns or something like that in the last few picks. They don't have too much of that and could allow the Legion side to just run. But yeah, there's the Pebbles.
I really feel like Legion fucked up their drafts.
Me too. The dark
like they got Glacius, Cthulhuphant versus Parasite, like the best counter picks in the game.
Right.
Fell hero. And then they pick Dark Lady Pebbles and just destroys the drafts. Completely.
Yeah, I mean, like, Dark Lady is weak against both Parasite and Swiftblade, I feel. And they picked it right into. I don't know.
I mean, like, if Swiftblade gets an early Energizer and Abyssal and just takes every tower, they lose game. Immediately.
I'm not a huge fan of TDL in general, personally.
I think she can work. She's a pretty good counter versus Silhouette, I feel.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of heroes that need cleave. And I guess maybe she doesn't need cleave, but she sort of needs cleave. Heroes that require, like, a big farming item like that, really to even be viable, are just so damn risky. Because you don't get it within 20, 25 minutes or whatever. All of a sudden it's...
That's why she's good versus Silhouette. Because if they pick Silhouette, then you know that you're probably going to be able to get the early flip.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, they picked, like, Dark Lady into an aggressive lineup. Like, if they saw that Hellborn were going to be passive and give her the space, that's perfectly fine, but I don't know. Didn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah, no doubt 4
heroes.
heroes.
Pick is a bit weird as well, though.
We don't see that hero very often, but 4 heroes on the Hellborn side so far that are going to be aggressive early and often. Especially, even if they don't have a ton of farm, just all of them with powerful spells as long as they get a few levels.
Just, not Behemoth.
Legion draft is greedy, for sure.
It's gotta be a tri-lane TDL, right? Like,
I think so.
It's a really bad tri-lane, and I mean, they're gonna have so many heroes that won't get enough farm, and we'll just do absolutely zero.
I mean, like, both Pebbles, Behemoth, Dark Lady, they all need, like, I don't know, they don't do anything early on. Pebbles needs his PK, Dark Lady needs her cleaver, and another item, Behemoth needs his PK. It's so much farm to go around.
Well, so a little bit of greed coming out too from the Hellborn side, but I feel like at this point, that's absolutely warranted, because...
Yeah. They got, like, the right kind of greed. Like, they're gonna go, like, you know, Doctor is probably gonna go out of his lane really well and be able to snowball, and so is Swiftblade. But if you look at Dark Lady and Behemoth, I can just see them being like Behemoth 100 GPM, Dark Lady 250. I think it's gonna be really... But we'll see.
What do you think about the Plague Rider pick, though?
Oh, I love it.
You think so?
No, I don't.
I think they had like an amazing opportunity to just man up on Dark Lady and really punish it hard. But
I kind of feel like you don't really get the point of Plague Rider. and Swiftblade, because like if they picked Empath here, I think it would have been really good. Or Glacius. Not. I mean, Plague Rider, if you pick Plague Rider, you're kind of just conceding the lane and you're all about farming. And you can't really go for kills. But yeah, Swiftblade is all about the kills. So it's kind of counterproductive.
And primary support Plague Rider too is not something we see very often. I don't think it's particularly good.
And you kind of like need to scare Dark Lady, like puts a lot of pressure on her, because I mean she can always get farm with her Taint Soul, so you kind of like need to have a trap in the lane against her, and not just be passive. But Legends have a really curious laning phase.
I agree. I was assuming it was going to be a safe lane tri-lane Dark Lady. I just didn't see them possibly putting together a tri-lane that didn't involve TDL, and I didn't figure if they were going to do that, they would go the aggro tri-lane. It doesn't seem like it would work very well. But they're going to do an aggro tri-lane Pebbles here. That's better, I guess, in some respects. The issue is TDL's now middle.
It's pretty greedy, though.
Yeah, it's weird, but this might actually work. I mean, it's hard for Hellborn to contest, like with Plague Rider. If they had a proper support, it would be one thing, but I don't know. This might actually work out. It's really weird.
If Pebbles gets a good start, they have no strength heroes.
Yeah, I mean, if Pebbles takes off, it's going to be so big. And I don't know, like Hellborn could stop, but there are bubbles there and the Plague Rider and the Parasite. It's not a lot of pressure. It's a really weak offensive tri-lane, but Hellborn's response is going to be fairly weak as well.
And I gotta give Hellborn credit too. I don't know if they saw this coming or not, but I would have expected the Doctor in the short lane, just because the natural assumption is the TDL safe lane tri-lane. But they're going to put a Bubbles up here, and that's going to work out really, really well for them, because Bubbles is probably not going to suffer too hard, even against this tri-lane, especially as compared to how badly Doctor would suffer, or even the Swiftblade dual lane. So
yeah, it was a really good, like, I don't know, if they expected this, that would be really weird, but it works out like
he's going to get jumped already, and he's going to be in trouble. Shell Surf, nope, too long. It expired, and there goes the death. So Glacius actually taking a lot of damage. Would have died if I think there had been one more tower auto attack, but pretty surprising there. Well done, eating through the trees, and they do manage to get the kill on the Bubbles. So is this going to be a rotation now?
Yeah, I think that's correct play. Just give Pebbles some regen and then leave him. They didn't do it though, so it's possible that Pebbles actually gets boxed out of this lane eventually.
I think they're going to go back there soon. I think they're just trying to set up a kill mid.
Okay.
Or perhaps trying to find Parasite or something.
Do you agree with that? I mean, they got the Bloodlust, so they actually made it worthwhile going top, and then they can just leave the lane and still have payoff. But I don't see.
Yeah, but I mean, like leaving Pebbles there, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Like with Parasite pressure as well, but they don't need two arrows there. I think they like can try to be a presence in the Hellborn Woods and try to force out Parasite, try to like pressure mid. I don't think they should be static in the top lane by any means, but I don't think they can like leave him there.
I feel like they should rotate Glacius mid and leave Behe top. And at the very least, save Pebbles or prevent him from getting jumped constantly. But if they leave Pebbles up here, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And actually, they're going to find Parasite. Nope, they just, never mind. I heard a freeze going off. I assumed it was Parasite. Parasite's transitioning to the bottom jungle, actually.
They're gonna wood. Like.
Yeah, okay, now there's definitely no point taking 2 arrows in the top lane.
Yeah.
So.
But like this also, if Liden would counter the ward that's protecting Doctor, they could do so much work here.
Speaking of Doctor, he get jumped here, and that's definitely gonna be a death, as he really didn't have any place to go. Charging strikes into Dark Blaze from TDL and a little bit too much damage. Clace coming in from the side.
That's really important. Yeah. TDL was losing the lane, but now she's back.
Yeah, I think Penny knows about this ward and just bypassed it, like on purpose, because otherwise the rotation, like the path he took, doesn't really make sense. So that was really smart, if so.
We are really, really trying to give people the benefit of the doubt here.
But I genuinely think he suspected that there was a ward there and went the other way because of that. But I don't know.
I agree with you, Cici. Like, I remember telling people like, you have to go this way now if you're ganking. Remember, they might have a ward here, so.
Yeah, I mean, and then no one.
You should give them the benefits of the doubt.
And with that, Darkblade is doing fairly well.
And
I mean, Darkblade is winning mid now.
I'm really concerned about Parasite. Like, he's 150 GPMs.
And he's going to perhaps help them a little bit. Jumping mid, charging strikes away, though. It looks like TDL should be okay here. Oh, one auto attack. Is Parasite going to find the leech? Doesn't look like he'll get the angle, and Dark Lady will be able to run away. Top lane, meanwhile, Bubble's getting collapsed on by 3 heroes. Has the Shell Surf available, but he's going to have to be really careful about this. Take cover goes forward, and Behemoth is looking for the stun, but at some point, there we go. Actually, stun does not hit, so they were trying to set that up there, being patient, but ultimately unsuccessful. Courier is going to try to snipe him, but you gotta be careful about that Courier. So they know where he is, and he doesn't have a Shell Surf. Does he have,
hey, the Doctor is coming.
Yep. So the Lightnight's gonna whiff. TDL's also up here. Actually, Doctor can get the kill there on the Panny, and maybe even more. Still has that haste rune active.
I think
Chainsaw goes down, but there's the Dark Blades. And he's just so fast. Pops the health pot as well. Dueling Couriers up here. This is very strange.
Yeah, this is an interesting lane effect.
Hellborn. Okay.
Oh, and Bubbles missed. Didn't port his shell. I think he was mismicroing the Courier. So now he's stuck there with no mana.
Yeah, the Courier has no TP either, so...
But okay, they're 2 people watching, like, looking for the Couriers. Instead of... Pebbles could be farming.
Yeah.
Pebbles is... Oh, he has okay good FM, I guess, but I think he has missed a lot of creep kills.
This is not fine though, like he's in a trial against the Bubbles and he has 1 assist. He should be at 400.
Yeah, I agree.
Those 2. This is not okay.
I think this is the problem with many of these games. They don't really seem to get what they should out of the
no, they aren't farming enough. And I mean, like the Parasite is doing so poorly. I have no idea why.
On top of Bubbles and the Stalagmites looking for the toss too. Not enough mana actually, so they're gonna need auto attacks. But Bubbles has no Shell Surf, so.
Ooh. That's.
I mean, Behemoth doing work now.
What's Bubbles doing up there with 40 mana?
I don't know. I guess he saw that Pebbles didn't have a lot of mana either, but still worked.
I mean, not for a stun, and...
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he got a bit creep blocked, but yeah, it was kind of great.
It was still very risky to stay there. I mean, if Glacius came or something, I guess so I made.
I think he has a really great item build as well. Only 2 minor totems versus what he knows what is a trialing. It's kind of greedy.
I can understand doing that if you're a suicide, but yeah, middle, Fissure, Doctor laughs at the Fissure. Literally actually laughs at the Fissure. I can understand doing that sort of thing if the Bubble's a suicide and he's just trying to get levels or something like that and stay in the lane as long as possible, but in the short lane, like, if you're going to have short lane farm, you're going to have the lane control that he's had pretty much this entire lane.
Oh, bottom lane?
You're going to do more than that, yeah. Bottom lane, meanwhile, Cthulhuphant getting jumped on, will eat through the trees, has no charge, and will die, so... Elephant, losing, down there.
Well, he was about to kill the Plague Rider, and then the Doctor showed up, so he had to pull 3 arrows down there to deal with him.
Yeah.
He's been doing fairly well up until that point.
Top lane, meanwhile, once again, Bubble's going to get jumped, and he's dead. So, side cash has 94 gold per minute. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he's not going to have a great game.
I think that's fair.
I think so too. Especially Bubble's one of those, you know, mid-game, early-game oriented heroes. Burst damage is not going to come out. It's still only level 4, 177 experience per minute, and that actually might be a bigger deal. I mean, he's just not leveling.
With low gold he can still do stuff with Kelpril, but no experience is just a huge deal for him.
Yeah, he's a complete non-factor at the moment.
And the worst part is that Pebbles is getting way ahead now.
So last game we saw the portal key come out way late. This game, that's not going to happen. He's almost got it, in fact. So he should have the portal key within the next minute.
I know it's so hard for Hellborn once Pebbles gets his portal key.
Yeah.
Like, he can combo everyone.
Yeah, there's no tank here.
I mean, like, every lane is just going to be on the constant draft.
So, wouldn't be surprised to see Pebbles pick up the portal key soon, and then perhaps even let Behemoth farm this with Glacius to get his own portal key. And Instant Reflex could be in a pretty strong position here early on. Already have a gold lead.
I think that's right.
So.
Like Dark Lady is getting a lot mid as well, which is kind of expected, but I think he got a little more than he should have.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, like, Doctor should have won that lane a lot harder than he did, and the gank, of course, helped, but...
I mean, like, Dark Lady always gets a fair bit just from Taint Soul spam, but I think she got a bit more than she should have, still. The Doctor definitely has the advantage here.
Yeah.
I think it comes back to that Parasite and Bubbles aren't... They can't really put pressure on Dark Lady. No. They can't really kill her.
No, yeah, we've barely talked about Parasite too, but 178 gold per minute right now.
I have no idea why, like... I mean, he did get a bit of disturbance in his woods, but he had like no camps blocked.
Yeah, and he hasn't been ganking either, so...
No, he's just been like running back and forth between the woods, doing absolutely nothing. He's, I don't know if he's trying to gank and not pulling it off, but it's not working out for him.
If you look now, he's just running around with a Skeleton King. Like,
yeah, I mean, like,
if he's farming the medium camp right now, or killing the easy camp.
Yeah, if he was like level 7 right now, he could easily like pose a trap to the Dark Lady, and she would have to play a lot more passive. And Tulpant has been doing very well bottom as well, apart from that one death, which, I don't know, it's not really surprising, but I think he's doing better than he should have. Against a Playguard that can take lane control as well.
First, I can get frozen here by the Glacius. Ice Imprisonment. Took a long time for him to do that, but actually Glacius can get turned on now as Doctor comes in. I'm kind of unimpressed with Cthulhu. I mean, Swiftblade is at 350 gold per minute here, and yeah, he had the dual lane versus the solo lane, but...
No, I think he did well. I mean, okay, if Cthulhu is strong, but I mean,
he's
if
in
you
the
play
short lane too.
Yeah, but Playguard they kind of know.
They have Playguard there, so he never has lane control.
Yeah, Playguard kind of nullifies the short lane advantage.
He should have had Parasite too, but I guess that's not really his fault. Anyway, Doctor gonna get jumped here by Pebbles, but finally will die there as the second sun comes in from Behe. Sarah gonna fall in return, so ALG getting traded for the opposing team's Pebbles.
Pebbles dies now. Oh, that's bad.
Looks like Plague Rider will also get jumped here. Darkblade's coming out from TDL, and they're gonna try to kill this Plague Rider. Charge not even necessary from Cthulhu. Now all of a sudden Swiftblade's on the menu. There goes the Fissure. Connects pretty easily. Cthulhu gonna charge back. Bubbles coming in with the Shell Surf. Parasite's off to the side as well. Cthulhu can be the focus, but he's pretty damn tanky, and he will finally die. Took a little bit of time. Marcus might get caught with the kill field, but looks like he'll probably survive here. Going around the back, and Swiftblade looking for something. No, actually he won't survive. Leech plus the Doctor coming right back into the fight. Glacius also likely going to fall here. Fissure goes down, saving him for the meantime. Not going to happen though, as last attack finishes him off. Pebbles coming back in with the Portal Key. Kills Mini Beaver on that Swiftblade. Shell Surf going through, and it looks like the Hellborn are going to clean this up finally as Masera comes back in. No buyback, no, one buyback used actually on TDL. She just bought out, I guess.
Oh, and that's painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Pebbles died 2 times in a row.
Yeah, Pebbles dying twice is the big deal. I mean, instead of the Portal Key just snowballing their advantage, they just threw it all away. Really.
Was up at about 450 gold per minute, now down to 345, so definitely
and one hurt. Buyback. And one buyback on TDL hurts their late game a lot as well, in the long run.
So, Marcus Moy also down to 270 gold per minute, so not really having a great time either. And that goes back to what we were talking about in the laning phases. This is a hero that needs a Rune Cleaver, basically, and needs it as soon as she can get it. At 270 gold per minute, she's not going to have it all that fast. She's
at this rate, I don't even think she should be going for a Cleaver.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Like, I would prefer an Abyssal Frostburn, maybe. Stuff like that.
Well, middle lane, Glacius going to get caught once again. Fissure doesn't do too much of anything. They're going to try to counter on this Plague Rider, and honestly should get this kill. Cthulhu and charge up in a second. Here it comes. TDL also coming in. Taint Soul helping to finish off. They're trying to give her this kill and will do so. So Mega Beaver gets picked off there by Marcus Moy. And not a bad trade, especially considering that their carry got the opposing team's kill, although LG got the one on Panny as well. So pretty even in the end. And Marcus Moy going to go back to farm while LG heads back to the well. So that gets Marcus Moy up to over 300 gold per minute, and she did get the life tube, so unless this is a Helm, she is going to go Cleave. Or no stone, I guess, but probably not.
It's probably a Rune Cleaver. I can't say that I'm a fan. I think she'll be vulnerable for too long, and it'll take too long to get it. But we'll see.
And of course the other problem is actually in bottom lane once again. She is getting caught out, going to charging strikes away. Kelfield goes down there, and she's definitely going to fall here. Last auto attack goes to LG, and he will pick up the kill. 320 GPM on him.
That could very well happen like 5 more times before she even gets the Cleaver.
And I mean, this Word of Sight obviously does give her some vision up there, but Dr. Repulsor and Bubbles don't really care because they can initiate from so far away. So not even particularly safe for the lane ward here. They might have even had a better time pushing it farther into the lane so they could see the tower and try to catch people.
They really have the wrong kind of lane ward versus Bubbles.
Yeah, I think they are like trying to avoid the counter ward, but that also hurts the positioning a lot.
So either TDL going to need a lane partner down here to keep her safe, or maybe a new lane ward in a better position. Will come down here once again, trying to get a kill on the Bubbles. I doubt that's going to happen. Dark Blades are up, but he's got plenty of health and a Shell Surf available. Top lane, meanwhile, more optimistic kill chances as Cthulhuphant will drop to the Plague Rider Snook. And Hellborn side now taking a 2.5k gold, 5k experience lead, so they're in a pretty decent position here. And I think the other thing you gotta consider too is Parasite now recovered 270 gold per minute, and he's in a dual support lineup, and he loves that, having those squishy targets to pick off. So gonna have a natural experience advantage thanks to having the Parasite in the woods, and he should have some targets now too, as he does go for the puzzle box. So I think definitely the right pickup, and he could start to be a force in this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think like this boils down to the Pebbles though. Like he should have been such a big factor in this game. Getting complete free farm kills, 450 gold per minute or close to. Really early port key. Now he's like died twice, down 300, and hasn't done anything for his team. He was like supposed to free up space for the Dark Lady, and now he's like farming the medium camp in the woods.
Yeah, and it's been the exact opposite. I mean, Pebbles got the portal key, and then Hellborn started ganking and then killing the opposing team's carry, which is not really what's supposed to happen when Pebbles gets an 8-minute portal key. And he's just farming camps again. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he's like, I don't know, insecure. He's tried twice, failed twice.
I mean,
and I mean, like, the heroes on Hellborn are a lot more tanky now as well. He still has to try to do stuff, but it's so much harder now than it was 5 minutes ago.
And maybe we should just talk about something that we've been talking about the entire series. The warding situation for the Legion side is extremely defensive. And I feel like when you've got a Pebbles at an 8-minute portal key, that's your cue to start dropping lane wards and maybe even aggressive jungle wards so that your Pebbles can be like, oh, this guy's farming that camp, let me go kill him, I can kill this guy here. And that obviously creates not only the kills, but the mindset of the opposing team of, well, we're just not safe anywhere, which is going to impact their ability to farm. So, yeah, I think Pebbles is screwed up a little bit here, but I feel like the warding situation as well from the Legion side is not really what they want to have happen. And
yeah, I guess they are like trying to protect the Dark Lady, but she's not getting much regardless.
Anyway, no.
Sound like a broken record too with that, but
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
it seems like they want to do different things.
Yeah,
like Pebbles wants to go gank, but Glacius is warding to farm, and yeah, and they have like a hero like Behemoth that also wants to farm.
Yeah.
So it's really, I think it's also really hard for Pebbles to.
I think it kind of makes sense to defensive wards though. Like it's hard for. I think 5 minutes ago Legion could go aggressive as much as they wanted to, but now it's really difficult. Pebbles can't solo and many heroes, and they have nothing else to help him out in ganks really.
I mean, now I think it's fine, but the question, my question really wasn't why are they doing it now, it's why weren't they doing it when Pebbles got an 8-minute portal key. I feel like that would have been their cue to start dropping wards all over the place.
I think they should have just gone take towers instead of trying to find ganks.
Really? With the Dark Lady? No,
with the tri-lane. Like, they rotated top before they took the tower. Like, they could just take the tower and then have constant pressure on their woods the whole game.
Yeah, I agree.
That would
should have taken the top
tower.
Well.
And
I think it comes down to just like the wrong team decision.
I mean, like, poor teamfight execution, I feel the bot fight lost them their advantage.
Cthulhuphant going to take this time from the Kelp field. There's a Swift Slashes as well. He's going to be in some trouble. A few more autos. And actually, the Leech coming in from Parasite will turn it off.
Like, if the whole Legion team ported there, that was a one fight, I think.
Wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah, I mean, Pebbles has a lot of reach as well, so.
Yeah, they used 3 ultis on one guy. And they're like, Pebbles could just, he could kill at least one guy.
Counter-initiate. I don't know.
I mean, it would have been great if they had ported, but I think Glacius tried to. No port on Behe. So that would have been an issue. Bottom lane, meanwhile, Penny actually dies, and Marcus Moy going to be in some trouble too. Takes the face hug. Will be able to charging strikes away. No more mana on Doctor, so he's probably going to live here. Middle lane tower gets taken out. That'll open up some map control there for the Legion side, but
that's really great.
We'll see if it's enough. Bot lane port coming in, looking to defend this tower. And Glyph of Fortification will also go off, so Cthulhu can help out here. Invis Pebbles will catch Bubbles. That'll be 1 kill. We'll see if he gets turned on, though. Yep, that's not going to end too well for him. Not a great trade, considering where Bubbles is, but maybe the counter here will actually let them have something. Dr. Repulsor's out of mana, and the Dark Blade's going to help out quite a lot, too. So ALG also going to fall. Obliterate gets Mega Beaver. 2 kills there for Cthulhu. And the follow-up damage there, despite getting turned on Pebbles, was definitely worth it for the Legion side. So looks like they might also try to take a tier 1 tower here as well.
Yeah, that was very well played. They like identified that the Hellborn side were completely out of mana and did nothing to turn on them with.
Right, and definitely still had their ultimates down from that top gank on Cthulhu as well.
Yeah.
Cliff going to be dropped here. Parasite looking for something. Swiftblade not dropping a spin before he got frozen. Cthulhu might be in some trouble. Yep, he's going to die. Swifty's so darn fast. Will be frozen here, but Glacius probably still in some trouble. Teleports away from everybody else, and Penny should take a death for his team as they focus him. It's a nice tower defense there from the Hellborn side. Tower is in deny range, so probably going to see that denied, as well as a bot tower kill for the tier 1, which is going to do for the Hellborn what it should have done for the Legion, and that's open up the woods of the opposing team. And with Parasite, Bubbles, Dr. Repulsor, Swiftblade, they can do some ganking of their own.
Yeah, I mean, Legion overextended. Yeah, Legion overextended a lot trying to push that tower. Like this early in the game, the respawn timers are still short, and they just like got overconfident from the picks.
So TDL, I think, gonna have some issues now too, because not only does she not have her cleaver still,
the Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
Her jungle is gonna be available.
Yeah.
It looks like Swifty's trying to chase down this Behemoth. Behemoth will get fissured. Actually, nice block in there. Bubble's not going to port to the Shell Surf, and Kainman will get away.
Yeah, him not dying is actually a big deal though. Like, he's 200 gold away from his portal key.
Yep.
Which is kind of the best chance right now. Like, Dark Lady is going to take a long time before she comes online.
Penny, once again, in a lot of trouble. Froze himself. Probably not what he meant to do there, but... oh well. Misclicks. And the Legion side... so they don't respond to Cthulhu getting jumped top, but they did respond to Penny getting jumped in the middle lane, which...
yeah. Yes, we said 3 TPs for nothing now as well.
Yeah. I mean, like, they can't defend, that's obvious by now. They just have to try to trade, like, I don't know.
And for that matter, it's Glacius. Like, he's not going to survive long enough for you to get there. And even if he dies, it's Glacius. Like, yeah, it sucks, but it's not a hero you really need to defend.
Yeah, and the Vision situation is horrible as well. Like, Dark Lady is ported home from bottom, despite having no pressure put on her at all.
There are literally no wars on the map right now for the Legion side.
No. She like kinda wanted to finish her cleaver, I guess, but she could have taken 2 more creep waves completely safely. But she has no idea where the Hellborn team are at all. And they have a huge initiation range as well.
As well as no tower mid and no tower bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, it's horrible, really. There's no space for them to farm at all.
And you're dropping order site defensively there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent ward.
Right, but that's going to cover 1 of 3 possible entrances.
Yeah, that's the problem with both towers being gone.
Doctor, who doesn't care about where the normal entrances are, and just gonna be like, and Bubbles too, for that matter. And they're both just gonna be like, yeah, okay, well, you expected me to come that way, but I'll come whatever I want. Thank you very much. Bubbles, speaking of Bubbles, has his portal key.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be for trouble.
As I'm sure you were about to say, portal key on Behemoth.
Oh yeah, I was about to point out Bubbles' portal key soon. But yeah, Behemoth portal key is great. That's like the shining hope for Legion, I guess.
Yep. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Marcus might getting jumped again once by Parasite, and Ice Imprisonment is there. Parasite going to get turned on, as he did not expect 5 people to be there, but all of a sudden Marcus might well have the kill field and like ultimate bounce on top of him. There's Behemoth ulti, did pretty much nothing, I think. Cthulhufen gonna charge through the fissure. LG looking to survive here, but he's getting locked down really effectively. Finally gets the hell out of there. Panty drops in the meantime, probably not even focusing him, he just died randomly. And Kindman also dies, so 3 for 1 so far here in favor of the Hellborn side. Cthulhufen, I think, just tapped a teleport, which was, I'm assuming, a mistake, but there's 135 gold and the cooldown lost, and he's still gonna die for it. I assume. Shell Surf goes through, and yeah, there's nowhere to go for him. So 4 for 1 trade there in favor of the Hellborn side. Pretty significant. And so Behemoth just showed that he had a portal key, and I think his ult hit nothing.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Nice.
Maybe some like shockwaves or something. I don't know.
Might have gotten a couple of creep kills or something.
Yeah, that wasn't good. I have no idea about like what are Legion doing up there, like outside of the Hellborn Tower, trying to force fight when they are, I don't know, 5k gold behind.
Yeah.
And the better late game, they have no place to be there. Well.
And they have to know too that even if you cease 1 or 2 people from the Hellborn side, especially if it's just Parasite, the rest of the Hellborn team is not exactly going to have any difficulty catching up.
Yeah, I mean they have such an easy time responding with Doctor and Bubbles,
right.
So they just can't jump that close to a tower. It's suicidal.
I mean, I think if they've got a ward way deep, maybe even past the tier 2 tower, they can do that sort of thing because they're like, okay, well, at that point it's going to take them a little bit of time to get in, so we can jump, get the kill, and get back, but that's a pretty significant requirement to have a ward that far to jump somebody where Parasite was, which basically just tells you, don't jump Parasite there.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they just need to play a lot like more defensively right now. I'm not sure if they have the late game even at this stage, but at least they have a solid chance if it gets to the late game.
Certainly it seems like much better than if they try to end the game right now.
Yeah, I mean, they aren't going to accomplish anything from going across the river at this stage.
And that they have that TDL cleaver, they have to let her use it. She got that item for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's TMM stuff, like, we have cleaver on Dark Lady, just let's go fight now. That's not how it works. Item doesn't do anything for a good 10 minutes after.
Well, if they all line up, I think, like, in a perfectly straight line, and you charging strikes through all of them...
Yeah, they can ask Hellborn to, like, stand on top of each other, and then they can Behemoth ulti and Dark Lady.
And Pebbles.
Yeah, I mean, like, if Okami charges everyone, and then Behemoth stuns everyone with a fissure, and then Dark Lady charges everyone, and then Glacius ult on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they can win a team fight in that scenario, but realistically...
Once again, Marcus Moy gonna get jumped in the bottom lane, and he's just dead. Okay, so again, he's past the river.
Massacre!
Yeah. I mean, it does have a there, I guess, but it's so hard against the Doctor and Bubbles.
But you see, the problem is that for some reason Masero has chosen to farm right next to the Dark Lady.
Yeah.
Like, he's taking the hard camps next to the lane instead of being in any other lane where he could just free farm. It just goes down to poor communication and...
Yeah, I mean, like, they aren't using the map effectively to farm either. Like, they have very little space and they aren't using it well.
I mean, we haven't seen Pebbles, like, truly gank once. We've seen him teamfight, and we've seen him farm, but we haven't seen Pebbles go off by himself or with one other hero and try to get a hero pickup. And
I think he kinda lost that opportunity. Like, he got 40 really early, and he should have got the kills back then. And then he got nothing for 5 minutes, just died twice.
I agree, but like, what else can he do at this point that makes sense? Because option 2 is farm, which takes it away from TDL. I feel like his only strategy at this point, like the only thing that he should be doing is looking for pickoffs. Maybe it won't work, but what else
now
is there?
Perhaps with the Behemoth now that he has a portal key, he could look for pickoffs. But before that point, he couldn't like solo anyone on the Hellborn side, bar the Plague Rider. He just couldn't achieve anything. He was just useless. He dumped all that farm into the Pebbles for nothing once it didn't work out after the laning stage.
Condor going down here.
It goes a bit down to poor drafts and poor decisions.
I mean, like, but they were fine with the draft, really. Yeah. Like, it worked out.
But okay, assume they did get the gangs. Do you still actually think they would be fine? Do you not think the team, like the heroes, want so different things that it would actually end up costing them the game?
I mean, in a way, like, Pebbles could just give space to the Dark Lady. I agree that the draft is weird, but if like when Pebbles has 450 gold per minute and is against 5 non-strength heroes, I think that team is like in a good spot, pretty much. But he just made nothing of it.
I mean, they definitely had the lead going in the mid game. Marcus Moy lost middle versus Dr. Solo, but then he got a couple of ganks and got it back, and he was doing all right. And Pebbles had like an 8-minute portal key, and the obvious transition from that was Pebbles go get a bunch of kills, Dark Lady take the farm in the jungle in the short lane, get your cleaver really quickly, and then just get to 500 gold per minute, and then we can win the game. What they did instead was Dark Lady farms in dangerous places, gets killed a whole bunch, while Pebbles takes the safe farm instead of ganking other heroes. And I mean, clearly that didn't work out so well, so it's pretty easy to guess at it in hindsight, but I think even on paper that's not a great strategy.
Yeah, I think the issue was what Cookman brought up. Like, the draft works to an extent if Pebbles is far ahead, but the second he gets behind, he can't.
And he's getting caught again here as he puts the stalagmites on the Parasite. Manages to get the pushbook away, so gonna survive.
What the champion! And then the Behemoth Fisher. Oh my gosh.
Did pretty much nothing, but hey, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool. No, but like the Pebbles can do stuff. He could do stuff when he was ahead, but as soon as like Hellborn gets some help, there's no one that can like accompany him to ganks on the Legion side. So once he becomes unable to solo kill heroes, there's like nothing for him to do, and that's a huge issue with the draft.
Yeah.
And he just becomes dead weight. And then he tries to farm, but like, what's he? He got a tablet, great. Ooh.
He's got 4k gold.
Yeah, I mean, he might get a sheep now, which actually matters, but it's not enough.
I think sheep over shrunken. I'm kind of feeling the shrunken head here.
I don't know. He could go shrunken, I guess. He could go demonic as well. Let's see.
They have so much magic damage and lockdown on the Hellborn side. I feel like the shrunken's where you want.
Yeah, I think Cannon needs a shrunken, but I wish he wouldn't have gone tablet. He could plan to go shrunken.
Maybe just feeling like nobody else can get a tablet, so I've got to do it.
Yeah, maybe. I'd like to see like a shrunken into a demonic or something like that.
Jump from Pebbles there does nothing. And now they're going to turn this. There goes the ultimate from Flag Rider. Nice ulti from Behe, doing actually a pretty good amount of damage, but man, those Swift Slashes come out and just kill everything. Mini Beaver getting a hat trick.
Oh, Skill Blade.
Yep. Press R, win game.
Okay.
Buyback from Masera there. Yeah. As well as Okami. Yes, he also bought back. So 2 buybacks used by the Legion side there, because they rightly believe that the Hellborn are now going to try to push middle, and I'm not sure if those buybacks are going to do anything, and it looks like they won't.
Oh. They need to go now, though.
Yeah, I mean...
Why did they buy back? I guess they're waiting for Behemoth and Glacius, yeah.
But Behemoth's ulti's down. So... Anyway, jump there on ALG, so hopefully they'll lose something. Kelpfield actually hits on the 4. Glacier's going to fall in the background. Huge plays there from Bubbles, and all of a sudden the rest of the Hellborn Legion side is falling again. Masera dies once more. Behemoth now getting chased down as that Icon is doing work for ALG. Finally they will get the kill onto him, but he had the token, so he's going to come right back up. Looks like Marcus Moy is going to fall. That was the second buyback they just used as well. Cthulhuphant also going to die. He's got one more buyback, but actually not available there. Masera also out of buybacks. He's in some trouble. Pushbooks himself forward, trying to live. LG getting the slows and the sheepstick. He has a sheepstick?
Used the sheepstick. Oh, finally. He saved it the whole fight, I don't know. Yeah.
I didn't even notice he had a sheepstick, but he's got 460 GPM. So, yeah, okay, Glacius, like, hey, I'm back. Now I'm dead.
So, should we pretend like there's a chance, or...?
No, I don't think we should, because there isn't. I mean, look at this.
This is so over.
Yeah, it's 25k at 32 minutes. They're going to take racks here. There's no buybacks on Pebbles or TDL.
But it's like they're not even trying. I don't know, why Pebbles didn't even combo when he initiated? It's like he's too lazy to even try to combo him.
They don't dare to go in, which I understand, but then don't buy back.
Right.
Like,
I mean, after Behe dropped the ultimate in front of the tower, and then they got massively turned with the Swift Slashes, I don't understand why they bought back on Pebbles and Cthulhuphant. There wasn't anything they were going to do.
I think they should just have let the Rex go. I mean, though at that stage, like the game is probably lost regardless if they lose those racks, so they might as well. But if you buy back, at least try something. After that fight, the game was probably over regardless, but they just like made the worst of it as well. Both using buybacks and letting them have the racks.
Not only using buybacks, and then using buybacks upon buybacks. I think Misera bought out twice in that fight, and died 3 times.
And Darkblade they used their last buyback as well, so like they don't even have the late game advantage at any stage now.
Well.
Because even if they get there, like one pick on Dark Lady, which is so easy to accomplish with a Doctor, Bubble, Swiftblade, Parasite, and the game is over regardless. So
you just look at the farm on the Hellborn team. I mean,
yeah, it's not like they're going to get to the late game, but in a theoretical scenario where they are still behind. So
I don't think they would win late game anyway. So.
No, I don't think so either. But I don't know. Now it's pretty much sealed.
I mean, the hard support Plague Riders for 230 gold per minute, which is better than everybody on the Legion side except for TDL and Bubble and Pebbles.
You meant the battery idol. What the fuck?
Behemoth ulti?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah, Plague Rider ulti and he dropped a bunch of heroes here. Invis is all over the place. I'm sure what that... Is there an Ion Stone somewhere? I don't know, but who cares? Okami and Misera are both dead because they were actually between a couple of Rev Wards. So, oh well. That's game. Fanny and he killed after the thing, but oh well. Yeah, I think that, I mean, it looked good in the beginning for the Legion side, and then they basically decided, I'd actually rather not win this game, and...
Yeah, I think Adde showed that they are the better team in this series. Didn't Legion or iRex win 2 or 3 of the laning phases?
Yeah.
And I think they got outplayed in all the mid-game stages.
Yeah.
Adde just had a better map control, resource control.
Yeah, and it's fair enough, you know. I feel like the laning phase, it's a lot about how technically proficient you are, how mechanical you are at last hitting and timing things correctly. But towards the mid-game stage, it's much more strategy. It's much more, what are we going to do with this team? How are we going to group up? What's our plan right now? And I feel like iRex perhaps doesn't quite have that down as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, Addes might have been playing as a team for longer. I mean, this iRex squad was
iRex disbanded, and then they brought in 3 new players. So I mean,
yeah. So Adde might have been around a bit longer. Right. I feel like Mega Beaver, Mini Beaver, Leif, Alge. I think they played together a bit.
Yeah,
before.
They've been together for a while.
They played in cycle 2 or 1.
Yeah.
No, not season 1.
They were Mini Beaver and Mega Beaver. I think were in Dendy's Jungle Devos for a long time.
Yeah, that's season 1. I think.
Yeah, so I mean, this is definitely a team that's been around for a while.
I think they had better. Yeah, I mean, they had better coordination as a team, I feel.
I think the big thing is that iRex lost Mini Maggot, and so they're not a team anymore because without his leadership, they can't win games. Clearly.
I'm not sure if you're kidding or not.
Mostly,
don't blame.
What? I'm not blaming.
No, I'm not blaming either.
I like Minimag.
I like
Minimag as well, but I don't know if the team is stronger or not without him.
I mean,
it's a completely different team.
It's
Yeah, but I mean the last iteration of you know, the one directly after Minimag left.
Yeah.
I think that was the best.
I think that was the strongest iteration. Yeah. I can't remember all the members, but I think it was the stronger one.
But then we beat them in Scream and they disbanded. Too bad.
It's all your fault. Everything's all your fault. Anyway, so we're going to wrap up Game 3 here. I think really strong performance in the end for Adrian's family, and the series will go to them 2-1, which prevents them from getting knocked out as this is the loser's bracket round 3. iRex done in Gold Cycle 2, although really all teams done in Gold Cycle 2 because this is replay cast. So that'll do it for this series, and thanks to Cluckmuck and Count Crapula for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. Thank you a lot, Chrissy. It was a cool experience.
It's good. Let's get some more content out there for Gold Division, get a little more exposure for some of these teams that we might be seeing a lot more of in the future. And, I mean, to be totally honest with you, I feel like right now the HoN competitive scene is about as even as it's been in a really, really long time. We're having a lot of teams that are in the mid-tier. I did my power rankings this week for Diamond. I have talked to a few other captains about theirs, and it's been a lot of, man, I don't know how to rank these teams. Like Sync, top, okay, good, that's fine. They're better than everybody else, but
yeah,
you know.
But I think like Willowkeeper took a game now.
Yeah.
If I can I spoil? I guess it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that's like proof that they're actually catching up
Right.
to them.
I mean, I think Willowkeeper's going to win at least one cycle this season, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see multiple cycle champions. And you compare that to Season 1, only ever 2 cycle champions. Season 2, only ever 2 cycle champions. I think this season we could pretty easily see 3 or 4 different teams at the top. Not sure who they're going to be yet, but I think really it's important to pay attention.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, a lot of teams are improving so much right now.
Yep.
It's really exciting.
It's a great time for competitive HoN. So that'll do it for this cast. Thanks, guys, and hopefully we'll see you next time on this. Yeah, whatever it is that I'm doing right now. Anyway.
Yeah, sounds great.
Bye.